Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'm uploading part 1 of the Sunday school lesson that would be held for the LDS Church on Sunday, the 13th of March, 2022. And so, instead of going to part 2, we're, as I mentioned in the part 1 video, Gray Shadow Mare had sent me a death threat and claimed that they were going to get YouTube involved to help him with his plot against me. Now, there's certain things that identify villains as stupid when they confess their intention and plot. You know, James Bond, you're not supposed to reveal to James Bond your plot to overthrow the world. He's going to escape, and he's going to stop you, even if he sacrifices his life in his final episode that was a tearjerker. Daughter, she has his eyes. Nonetheless, as I am a religious channel focusing solely on correcting all things Mormonism, because there's a lot to correct. It must be understood that religious people are not exempt from judgment. You commit a crime, you lie, you deceive, you cover up, any kind of crime. You are the bad guy. You are the villain. If you seek to defend the church in their crimes, you're the bad guy. This is a very simple thing. And yet, for some reason, over the history of mankind, people go to holy wars because they refuse to accept this. That you have to be good, like your religion says you're supposed to be. There is only one law of religion, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, Mormonism, even Islam. Love. That's it. That's all. Any law or commandment that teaches and incites members of a religion to hate is contrary to their one and only law. It's not complicated, Mormons. You need to love. And you're having a very hard time with it because everybody knows the church is false. Somebody's knocking at my door. I'll be back. I'll be back. So I forgot Wednesday is the day when I help my neighbor with their project for them. So while I'm multitasking, let's get part of it done, because that cut down the upload time on the Sunday school lesson video to 4 minutes, and then it shouldn't take any longer than 10 minutes to process, but we'll see. So Mormons need to be good. People need to be able to judge the church. If you want investigators to be converted to the Mormon church, you have to set a good example. You can't be bad and get angry when people say, I don't want to be in that church that has angry Mormons, that incites Mormons to hate and anger. Brad Wilcox. Oh, remember him? Yeah, he was exposed as the racist, sexist that he is. And I got lots of views. When the church makes the news, I get more views. And it is not right for Mormons to defend Brad Wilcox. It is not right for the church to defend Brad Wilcox and silence everybody, as they did. The news stopped. Everybody stopped. Protesters from BYU's Black Student Union came to his class that Friday saying, "We would like a dialogue with you." He said, "I'll give you a call." Yeah, what happened to that? Nothing, huh? He said he'd call, and he never called. Yeah, there's a reason. He got away with it. The church gave him a pass. And when you defend and protect criminal organizations, you are likewise guilty of their crimes, of their lies, their deceptions, their dishonesty. So, for example, World War III, not World War Z, Putin's the bad guy. He's murdering women and children because he's the president, well, the emperor. We might as well just call him an emperor because he's there until 2036 because of forcing the government to allow that to pass. And so he's the bad guy. And if you hadn't noticed in the news, everybody is showing their disapproval as today AWS, which I think is an Amazon thing because I saw the little smile thing below it, is now pulling Russian and Belarus accounts. So that's going a step beyond what other people are doing, just going after Russia. Because remember, Belarus president said, "Hey, you're attacking Ukraine? Great idea! Let's get them!" And in fact, I'm going nuke now. We're tearing up the agreement I said that I would be non-nuke. And so yeah, this is ugly. This is going to alter your lives. And so if you support what is being done to your life, you are the enemy. You have to denounce Russia, denounce Putin, denounce Belarus and everyone, including corporations and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who support Putin and his attack on Ukraine. Over 2 million refugees, mostly women and children, are homeless. They're never going to have a home in Ukraine again. It's most likely blown up. They're in a humanitarian crisis. They require basic essential living, which the charities are not able to get enough for. People are dying, all because of Putin. Putin is the bad guy. If you can't understand that, you're the bad guy too. And so anybody who supports the church, who supports Putin, are also the bad guys. You do not have religious freedom to overthrow the world governments. That's what's called a holy war. And that's a bad thing. And so my channel is a religious channel, but YouTube does not allow me to designate it as a religious channel. They don't have that option. And so I only put the vlog thing, popular vlog or whatever thing. And as such, it allows YouTube to attack me. As Travis Wayne Goodsell has been shut down because YouTube has Mormon employees that are defending the crimes and corruption of the church. And so understand, the church is the primary cause, not me. You do not have the right to commit crime or support those who do commit crime. How hard is this to understand? And so Gray Shadow Mayor is a Mormon. He doesn't understand. I'm Mormon, born and raised. It's a culture. Even though we are born and raised in America or around the world, wherever we're converted and living, Mormonism is a unique culture because that's the way Brigham Young wanted it. And so we're a religion and a culture. And so as much as I want nothing to do with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I wish they would leave me alone, but they won't, I'm always Mormon. Till my dying breath, which Mormons want to be quicker rather than later. Sooner rather than later. And so I did the comment reply to Gray Shadow Mayor, which he himself had edited, and he's telling me, who's a born and raised Mormon who knows all about the Mormon Church, and I've done videos showing my fruit, that I know more than Mormons, I know more than ex-Mormons, I know more than September 6, I know more than the prophets, because I was born and raised Mormon. I was obedient and studied it and researched it. And so he pulls the stunt saying the church changed its name to incorporate Jesus Christ's name into it. And he says, I don't understand why this is bad to you. So, in reply, processing has 5 minutes. I did the video, Mormons who don't understand Mormonism seek to be understood. And Mormons should know about the book on the cover, Stephen R. Covey. He's Mormon. Did you know that? The Franklin Covey Corporation, owned and operated by a Mormon. I had his binders on my mission. I used his binders. I used his little planners. And then realized that his was insufficient, and so I created my own. I should have sent them to him and asked him for royalties. I think they've collapsed now. I don't think they're in business or something like that. It was like, I think it was it during, was it recently or was it a while back? Can't remember now, but regardless. He did the book that made him filthy rich, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I told you in the video, the whole world knows about it. Whenever you hear someone say, win-win, ta-da, that's from Stephen R. Covey. Because the book was about how to get business deals passed, laws passed, relationships, help with your relationship with your family member, your spouse, children, your neighbors. It's a general self-help book. And I have my disagreements with it, especially when he came out with number 8. Oops. Yeah. those 10 things, 5 things, 7 habits, all of that is crap. They're incomplete, and they're purposely designed to put people into categories as psychologists do, and it's all fraud. They want to make you into their image so that you self-fulfill what they originally said. But the concept of win-win is what I focused on, because he talks about, and it was even used on my mission. My district leader used that in one of our district meetings. We had to go over it. I can't remember if it was Ames or one of the other ones, but regardless, dear God, 2 minutes. Okay. And the camera is probably all blurred now. But in win-win, you don't compromise, because when you compromise, you lose. And so at least one person is losing, if not both. Thus, the concept of win-win. Instead of saying, we are using my furnishings for our new home as a married couple, you instead say, we're starting our life brand new together, and we can afford it. Why don't we get new furniture for our new relationship? That's a win-win. And then the two of you can go out together and argue over colors, textures, sizes, designs. All that nonsense that shouldn't ruin a relationship but ends up doing just that. Whereas, as I'm watching 2.5 Men currently, I see over and over and over and over again of failed relationships that people are just not taught properly, and it ruins future relationships. And all of that shouldn't happen if people were just loving, but people want things their way. And I saw that in the church. In the younger singles ward, the younger girls were not interested in having their lifestyle as much as the older women in the older singles ward. They were already set in life. They're career women. They've got a job that supports their living. They've got their own place. They're doing well. They're happy, content. They just want to be obedient to the church and find a man. And so they don't want to change their lifestyle and their living arrangements to go to the man's. And so there's more of a tendency to want to change the man and his lifestyle to suit their needs. And that doesn't do good for relationships. And so I keep trying to help and beg and plead with those who criticize the church, like Brad Wilcox, who comes out and exposes that he's sexist. Hey, awesome. Checks complete, no issues found. Thank you. That you can't change the prophets. I mean, you can, and they pretend to change for you, but they are always double-crossing you. Like the veil in the temple change in 2019. They took away the veil because you wrongfully interpreted what the veil is used for. You thought it was suppression and oppression of women, as certain other modern religions use it for. But the original origin of it has to do about the glory and goddesshood of women. Because think about it. You're up before the veil of the temple, and who's behind the veil? Who's veiled behind the veil. God. So in a marriage, the way it was set up is the woman is veiled and her husband gets to be God behind the veil. And even though Brigham Young's sealing ceremony says that the women are property to the man, because that's the way it was for his generation, as Joseph Smith tried to set women free, giving them priesthood and priesthood office. 17th of March, 1842. Did you bother to read it? It's in the Joseph Smith papers. Or are you just going around telling people what you've heard from others say about it? I did the video on it. Oh, Heidi. I'll deal with you later. So yes, Judas Kiss was the song in the description below in the Sunday school lesson. Not too bad. Still clear. And so, when I criticize the church for their lies, crimes, etc., abuses, espionage, treason, sedition, paying Russia for the war, refusing to remove missionaries from Russia, refusing to rescue the Mormons in Russia and Ukraine, refusing to help, which, according to tax law, they said they're going to do. So again, that's tax fraud violations. And it's disgusting that our government will not hold the church accountable. Again, because remember, the church has already been criminal and was shut down by the Edmunds-Tucker Act in 1887. And so Nelson is number 11, not number 17. And so for me to say this, to have Mormons attack me, they are the bad guys. Mormons are the bad guys. Because they're upset that I'm speaking the truth. Because you can look it up for yourself. 17 March 1842, Joseph Smith Papers, look it up if you're not wanting to watch my video. Edmunds-Tucker Act, look it up. You have Google search, you know how to do it. Look it up. And it's just disgusting that Mormons just will not behave. As I keep having to do videos to condemn and scold Mormons for their wickedness. And yes, I know very well that the Book of Mormon says they're going to hate me even more, and they're going to want to murder me, and they're wanting to destroy my life, because I've exposed them, having been incited by the presidents of the church and the prophets and the leaders. It's a culture of corruption in the church. And ex-Mormons, even though there was 1 or 2 or 3 things, or 4 or 5, that the church crossed the line with them for, they still were born and raised Mormon with the Mormon indoctrinated baggage of hate. And so you see that. Only the popular ex-Mormons get the views. Whereas me, yeah, Mormons attack me, keeping ex-Mormons away from me. I try to warn ex-Mormons about the dangers of certain psychologists who are popular, who groom ex-Mormons because they're ex-Mormon. He thinks it's a great idea to drum up business. rescuing Mormons out of the Mormon church. Which, yes, Mormons do need to be rescued, but not groomed by a predator who is educated as a predator because of his psychology doctorate. And ex-Mormons do exactly what Mormons do when I criticize the church. They get mad at me. He's a good man. We're cancel culturing you. We're not listening to what you're saying. Or, as those who aren't Mormon at all, they come and comment, I really like that you criticize the church, but stay away from asterisk president number 45. Ex-Mormons do the same thing. We love that you attack the church. We're kind of confused that you don't attack Joseph Smith. But leave the psychologist alone. He's a good person. No, guys. Crime is not acceptable. And maybe you've been groomed too long by the church to not recognize what a crime is. Because apparently, Gray Shadow Mare doesn't. And so what's this whole thing about the name that I did the video for? Again, what is the learning of the Jews concerning the Christ? The Book of Mormon is the keystone of Mormonism. If you pull out the Book of Mormon, Mormonism falls. So what is the learning of the Jews concerning the Mormon Christ? And I'll give you a hint. It's not the Christian Jesus Christ. It's not even the right name. Constantine chose Jesus rather than Samson, rather than Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Ephraim, or as I did the video this morning. Not of Chaldees, that's light. As in the sun god. And if you can't understand that as a Mormon, it's because you're not studying. The first vision tells us that Christian creeds are an abomination. Why? Well, Constantine, a man, created Jesus. Selected his name out of the apocalyptic literature, called it the Good News as literal history. So now it's Kata Mation, Kata Lucas, Kata Marcus, Kata Ionis. Or Ion. I think it's Ionis. Could be Ion. Regardless. And they had to change the definition of kata so that it's according to rather than the downward motion of the whole, so that Catholic is no longer the downward motion of the whole, it's now according to the whole. Thomas Robinson, my instructor in Greek, would not go there. That was hilarious. But he pulled an abusive fallacy argument at the end of his quote, or the end of his comment, saying that because I don't have enough views, and I've been telling you why I don't have enough views. YouTube. Yet he thinks that because I don't have enough views, therefore I'm in the wrong. And that the church is true. So, in my video reply, I threw it back in his face. 7 billion people in the world. Church claims 16 million, but it's technically down to 3 now, and probably even less over the past couple of years, as the church refuses to release the membership stats now. And my brother, with his PhD, is in that position as in the membership records department for the church. PhD and all he could get was a job working for the church in the membership records department, looking for lost Mormons. And so, does that mean that the church is false? Well, yeah, but not because of that reason. You have to redesign your argument so that it's not fallacious. The conclusion is correct either way, but the premises have to lead to the conclusion. Otherwise, you've got a fallacy argument. You need sound arguments. And Mormons are not taught this. I was not taught this in Southern California. Apparently nobody in America is taught logical argument. And so, yeah, I got to go to Canada for my self-designed degrees with a minor, and then my own education, technically. And so there I learned about Bible studies through science and logic, rather than as the church does it. This is what the Bible says, memorize it, pass your test. Make sure that it conforms and complies with the church's standards, values, and doctrines. That's not how you study your scriptures. And so, I didn't even cover the other comment that he made, but nonetheless, he replied as I uploaded the previous video. And he's not happy, but yeah, the Book of Mormon said he wouldn't be happy. And it was even edited, and it was 10 hours ago when I did it, so it's probably now 12 hours. So it was around midnight. And here's what he said. Hey dude, just so you know, I'm gonna put in a ton of effort to get this YouTube channel taken down. That's a hate crime he's confessing to. Do you understand this? He drew first blood. Not me. He did. I am responding to the church's corruption. He then thought he would defend the church's corruption. And it was the video on hate crimes of the Church of Mormonism, where he attacked me with a hate crime and abuse. So he's the cause. Not me, him. He says, I believe. Oh, your opinion, not knowledge. This channel has a strong prejudice against religious topics. This channel is a religious topic, dumbass. As I've made it clear all these years, I expose corruption. Religions are not free to commit crime. They're not free to hand out the Kool-Aid. They're not free to give cyanide capsules, making the members believe they're going to go up into outer space to catch a spaceship behind Comet Hale-Bopp, was it? They're not supposed to take money from members offering prosperity gospel doctrine, where people's lives are financially ruined because they believe Jesus will prosper them by giving away their money. The church commits crimes that they're going unpunished for, as the whistleblower explained it to us. Our tithing is not a donation. Nobody understands this. And yet it's all very blatantly obvious. The church has to remove it from the temple recommend questions. It cannot be a question of worthiness to pay tithing. But the church invests that money in violation of tax law for the church, not for Mormons. These are crimes. And so because I expose that Joseph Smith is talking about the first creed at Nicaea, does not mean that I'm prejudiced against Christians. Christians are perfectly fine and allowed to be good people, to love their neighbor, and to do good to help others. What they can't do is lie to me and say that Jesus is real. Because I know the truth. Constantine created them. And Mormons need to understand this. That when their president tells Mormons that it's Jesus, there is no other name, he's trying to deceive you, to cause harm to you, to cause you to fear him, because, well, he's getting his information from Jesus and Jesus is real, therefore I'm the loser scum who must obey. You're drinking the Kool-Aid and you're getting hurt, and I'm trying to rescue you. And Gray Shadow Mare does not want to be rescued. He wants to drink the Kool-Aid and force me to drink it. And he keeps going. And I will not stop unless YouTube says what you're doing is fine. They say what I'm doing is fine. Because I just went over with you, they immediately accepted my video with the checks. Because I had to again remind them, I'm a religious channel speaking out against corrupt religion, giving you the truth, correcting Joseph Smith's corruption that this church is giving us. Because it's not a Christian church, and it's not Jesus as our Christ. What part of that do you not comprehend and appreciate? And then he says, this is not a threat. Yeah, but in saying that, it is. And will not go further than reports and conversations with YouTube. I believe what you're doing is against community guidelines. Really? Or is what you're doing against community guidelines? He's projecting. He's not going into details. Notice he's not saying, no, Jesus is our Christ. Because again, I explained it to him in my reply, and I allowed his other comment to go through so that I could link him to my reply to his other one that I deleted. I didn't ban him. I deleted it so that he would watch it. Because his original comment was a hate comment. That's against community guidelines. I need to wrap this up, don't I? So I can get my neighbor her project. And I'm already going on an hour on this, aren't I? So I've already been doing videos explaining my other neighbor here in this building who used the church to threaten me, saying, you're not attending church. What religion are you? Baptist? Holy crap, you came to my ceiling at the Salt Lake Temple. Oh, right, you had a crush on Karen and you're upset with me because I stole her from you. She never went for you, dude. Get over it. But he wanted me out. You don't belong here. Get out, he said. This is what the church does to Mormons. Because they can't learn the one lesson. Love! And so this is not love. You're not going to stop when YouTube does nothing. They're not going to tell you anything. They're just not going to respond. That's what the YouTube did to me when I tried getting Nelson's 8 billion view video. The healing power of gratitude rather than trusting medical professionals. And they went and shut me down. And he continues, and if you think you're slick, see, he's projecting again, and just do this for attention because he thought his original comment was going to be seen by everybody. He did not know that I hold all comments for review for this very reason. And so he believed his video or his comment was going to be seen in the public realm. And so this isn't something that's just between the two of us. YouTube will not allow me to do this. And just do it for attention, you found it. What? I believe that what you're doing is against community guidelines, and if you think you're slick and just do it for attention, you found it. Am I getting attention? No, YouTube is still silencing my views. They're getting bigger. But as it gets bigger, you get bleep bleeps like this who come out to attack me. And when they find the Mormon employee at YouTube, yeah. Just remember what attention you're trying to seek. I'm trying to save your lives. Not my attention, not my glory. You know, I drank a lot of Kool-Aid as a kid until Mom got the no-name brand. But yeah, I'm a sugar guy. Love sugar. And so, yeah, my DNA says that I love sugar and can handle it. Just like caffeine, I can handle it. But nonetheless, he doesn't get it. He's trying to get attention. He did his original comment seeking attention, thinking he was slick. He even says it in his original comment when he attacked me with the fallacy argument that I don't get enough views. How is that getting attention? Because my guess is you will receive a lot of hatred from people. Oh, any bad press is good press? No, I'm trying to get you to stop, and you won't. You keep fulfilling the Book of Mormon precept of bad people get worse when they're called out for their wickedness. Every single story has that example in it. From Laman, King Noah, the Gadianton band, even the one for 3 Nephi 1, which we're experiencing right now, the Nephites, which we will liken unto him, wants to murder their own brethren, Judas, because they don't believe in the Christ of Joseph Smith. Are you likening the scriptures unto yourself, or do you not know how to do that? Some of which are unpredictable and do terrible things. Because my guess is you will receive a lot of hatred from people, some of which are unpredictable and do terrible things. Are you supporting me? Because it doesn't sound like it, dude. People don't say dude anymore, dude. That died out somewhere during my mission. It was a California surfer thing. Dude, man, whoa, tubular. And I doubt you're from California. But there are cultural appropriations. So, are you not getting it? Are you only hearing, I need to kill him, I need to kill him, I need to kill him, he's exposing the church? Or are you hearing, stop it, love, what's wrong with you?